but my annoyance is mostly at the fact that people are mad at the wrong things in this game.
Oh, really?
Do tell.
Okay.
Tell us what correct things are to be mad at.
So guys, get in your bomb shelters. We got a nuclear take. It's probably coming.
Oh boy. Already.
People are just mad at the fact that Joel dies.
At the beginning of the stream, we were talking about it, and I was kind of close to telling everyone that we get it. Stop saying over and over that we'd be fine with Joel dying if they did it right. Like, we all know, stop saying it, we get it. And I didn't say anything, it just goes to show how much it's said, how much we have to reiterate over and over. We're fine with Joel dying. I bet most people expected Joel to die.
Yeah,
it seems like
thought it would happen.
Again, yeah, it seems natural for the progression of the story that, he would sort of die.
Can I actually go ahead and offer my idea that I sent to you, Mauler, about what to do to kill Joel off 2 hours into the game and then have us play as his killer later on and sympathize with her in a way that would be way more effective than what we got. Can I read that out?
Wow, so you wanna give out your own piece of writing and then say, everyone, look how good it is, you fucking vain, pompous piece of shit. It reminds me of TLJ, where it's like, you're just mad Luke is dead. You'd be like, it was clearly the method.
And he didn't do his flips.
Yeah, you're mad Luke isn't the way you want him. It's like, can you stop with this shit? Like, focus on the actual arguments, come on.
I had so many...
Tons of people do it, and it's like, just please argue against what we're actually saying rather than just saying this is what we're saying. It's like, we're not saying that, so...
People in my chat who are angry that Joel doesn't get a redemption arc, which isn't even really all that true because he does admit his lie to Ellie and they do talk about it a little.
How is that a redemption arc?
How is that a redemption arc? This is, if anything, this is the first step that one might take towards a redemption arc. This isn't an arc. An arc implies completion.
Yeah.
How would he even redeem himself for what he did at the end of the game?
I don't feel he needs to
gets shat on for being
himself.
nice to her.
That's what I mean.
Like...
does he need to be redeemed for lying? Is that what we're saying, or is it that he? Are we just being definitive that what he did at the end of the first game is absolutely evil? Is that what we're saying?
Yeah, it's like his arc that they're trying to portray in this game is just him coming to terms with the fact that he's been wrong about everything he's ever done in life.
The world is fucked because of Joel. Literally every death that happens after the first game is Joel's fault.
True. Good authority. I know this.
It hurts to listen to people say this because, like, man, they're gonna knock the fuck out of that straw man. They're gonna fuck it up
a little bit.
Fuck that straw man up.
Really genuinely think that Joel was the hero of the first game.
He was.
He would define as a hero. If he's saying people think Joel's the hero and he's not a good guy, it's like, well, a hero doesn't necessarily need to be altruistic.
I hate the idea that if you've committed a crime or a misdeed, you can no longer act heroic. Like, what?
Which is not what
that's what makes the heroic actions all the more meaningful because someone's breaking from their habits.
Like, the entire first game is his redemption arc. Like, that's what he's all about. He goes from this, like, callous survivor who just, like, does what he has to do to keep going to, like, actually believing in something and protecting a person that he cares about and being willing to sacrifice everything for her. There's his redemption right there.
I hope he gets into what he thinks the redemption arc is, because it'll probably tell us a lot about how he views these in media, which will probably inform us quite a bit.
People played that game and watched the ending and thought to themselves, wow, Joel saved his daughter from those bad doctors.
Yes.
Pretty much.
He did. He absolutely did.
You know, the idea that is built because, you know, there's a concept that she doesn't understand the ramifications of the choice, but I'm pretty sure Ellie would, from what we learned from her in the first game.
Mm-hmm.
She's mature enough, yeah.
She understands what death is.
To kill their only immune subject, man. They get her, and on the day that they get her, they don't want to run further tests on her. They don't want to study her. They don't want to make her into, like, a living lab rat that, you know, they take care of, you know, but...
like
they just want
the standard thing for
I think it's more the idea that
is antibodies.
If the Fireflies were given an option to ask her, and if she said no, would they listen to her? If the answer is no, then that says a lot about the Fireflies.
Well, the thing is, they don't give her the option.
They don't, because they don't want to give her the option, I don't think. Yeah,
which is arguably worse. If they had asked her and she said no, they went, I'm sorry, we've got to push through. But if they're like, don't ask her, just in case she says no.
Yeah.
It's like, wow.
You know, to make us feel better about ourselves.
It's amazing that, like, Marlene is like, this is what she would want. And yet it's like, do you know that for sure?
Maybe ask her. Like,
Yeah.
Wait,
You don't.
just like wake her up.
If you're so confident that this is what she would want, just wake her up and confirm. If after all, if this is what she'd want, what's the harm, right?
Time is not
also-
the essence here, guys. You've got time, you know.
I'd love
Yeah,
to just
the world has kind of slowed down a bit for you. No worries.
I'd love to jump into the game and be like, hey Ellie, they drugged you to say they're gonna do tests to kill you. How does that make you feel?
Yeah,
Hear about that?
never mind the fact that you were making plans with Joel. Never mind the fact that you say, after we're done with this, I will go wherever you want to take me, right after the giraffe scene. Like they were making plans. She was not planning on dying. She did not know that she would have to die. Now, of course, she's like, this can't all be for nothing. But at the same time, it's fucking crazy unethical
Well,
to just opt to kill her without telling her anything.
her saying it can't all be for nothing, I'd sit her down and be like, okay, so this is actually where your age might be fucking you over. Let's go over exactly what happens if they get a vaccine out of you, okay? There's a lot to cover. I don't know if we want to cover it.
Yeah,
But
take a
there's-
seat.
Many variables that don't lead to Happy Sunshine Earth.
Like starting off is the syringes. Like you would need so much equipment to distribute a vaccine, and they're like a terrorist. How are they going to do that?
How about
You would-
trials?
Well, I mean, the infrastructure and the transportation you would need to actually get it around the country.
Doesn't exist.
Like,
Let alone the world.
Yep, it's not there.
And
You're going to
then-
need millions of doses of it, which you
Is
can't
that-
manufacture because you don't have any factories.
Is that what they would do?
Are the Fireflies
Yeah.
good at traveling far distances? No, because Marlene says that she
Well,
lost half her.
You guys are all
Are you-
operating under the assumption that the Fireflies just want to give this
Would
out.
even just give
Yeah.
it away, which I don't
Are they?
believe would.
Yeah. Are they going to turn this into some negotiating tool to become the dominant faction?
What
Mhm.
happened?
Absolutely.
I would imagine, yes.
And
What happened
then-
was like the WLF find out that they're hoarding the cure in the hospital.
And then runners,
And remember,
clickers,
all of the conflicts in the second game, they don't have anything to do with zombies. It's all faction
And
wars.
remember that even if you make a cure, the zombies can still kill you, which is the main threat that they pose.
yeah,
that they
bloaters,
kill you, not that they
shamblers,
infect you.
the Rat King, runners, stalkers, they all still exist, and they're all a huge threat. In fact, if you list all of the threats in the world, spores are possibly on the lowest level.
On the lower tier, yeah.
The
Survival
Fireflies,
flight.
Because the spores, they only really form in like basements and things, don't they? Like,
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, and you can combat them with wearing a gas mask.
the
Meanwhile,
Fireflies,
the fucking faction war that's happening, it's like, that's like the biggest deal with all the death in this game. It's like, a fucking cure's gonna do anything for that.
yeah, the Fireflies are losing their war against Fedra. They are growing desperate. Okay, and so I'm just thinking, like, you really think that they would be willing to just allow everyone to immunize? You think
But
that
it's
they wouldn't use
Probably
this?
their ticket to survival. They're like, shit, we're really kind of backed into a corner here. If we tell them we have a cure, and if we just say, hey, we've got some really, really good doctors and stuff, we'll work with you. Just, end the war, do a truce, we'll become part of you, we'll let you control us. But, this is our ticket to survival here.
But then would Fedra even believe them?
I mean, you could probably, this is something they could test, yeah.
they would check it out at least.
Yeah, they
I would
definitely
assume.
check it out. Yeah, if you came up to them and said, hey, we've actually developed a cure. We want a ceasefire and you can have all of it you want. We just want to live, basically. Fedra would probably be like, prove it. Then we'll talk.
Also, someone said
And we have the doctors and all the people who can actually make that happen.
Marlene helped raise Ellie, therefore she would count as her consent.
No. Wait, is that even true? How did Ellie know Marlene?
First of all, Marlene sent Ellie to go to the Fedra like boarding school thing, the military preparatory school. And when in the first scene that we see Ellie, Joel's like, "Oh, you're recruiting kind of young, aren't you?" And she says, "She's not one of mine." That's what Marlene says.
They know each other well. Like she kind of went to her because she had no other choice. She got bitten, right?
Either
Yep.
way, I was just going to highlight that doesn't mean you don't ask Ellie.
Yeah, that's not a form of consent. Someone else.
Well,
someone
I
else.
don't think we should be appealing to law in a lawless fucking world. Like, that doesn't even make sense. Ask the girl
yeah.
if she's okay with dying in order to potentially create a cure, which, by the way, there's a lot of dodgy shit with the creation of a cure as well.
Yeah. Law and ethics are two separate things.
I don't think we'll be going by whatever state's, current legal system says is the consent limits. I don't think that's what we'd be going by. Ellie is perfectly capable of rationalizing the concept of dying to save people.
It's one thing if she would actually be like comatose to the point where she will never wake up, but the fact is that's not the case because she wakes up eventually. And if the Fireflies just aren't able to test whether or not she'd be able to wake up eventually, then they're fucking incompetent doctors.
Well,
so
I fail to fucking believe that they decide that they need to kill her within the first half day. It's like, dude, do some fucking tests for a while. You got a live subject.
Yeah,
they ran a couple tests, one of which was a spinal tap. They somehow got cerebral spinal fluid from her. The surgeon's recorder mentions that. And you can do a spinal tap, but you can't do a brain biopsy. A white matter brain biopsy might have some side effects.
Yeah, she should have every test that doesn't kill her done first.
Yeah, absolutely.
What could possibly go wrong by just waiting?
I think that they'd be testing her antibodies and her white
Test
blood
everything.
cells and
I mean,
that.
this is unprecedented. Who knows what information you can gather from this specimen? Do all the things.
There's no way that you can test for all of those things in less than a day. No fucking way.
I don't even want to check the amount of time it takes to get results for all of these different tests in case it is a lot longer than that. But I'm talking about stress tests. Have her run for an hour and see how her vitals change. Shit like that.
I don't believe that anything short of the technology that Shuri from Black Panther has access to would be able to run that many tests and get results back that quickly in less than a day. Fuck no.
No, not with the level of technology and equipment that they have available, especially.
Also, the fact that that Abby's dad, let's just address the fact that there's no way that he is older than 42, 43. This is 21 years after the outbreak. So he was 22 when the outbreak happened. He was in med school, or he was just out of med school at best. He definitely did not complete his post grad, and yet we're supposed to believe that he is experienced enough when it comes to brain surgery and when it comes to vaccinology to create a vaccine out of this. Really, you're telling me he is just the most amazing prodigy when it comes to medical knowledge in existence. He is the one person on Earth.
If they had stuck with the original character model, who looked to be about late 50s, early 60s, that would have been a lot more believable.
Yeah, true. Also, he couldn't pass his information on to anyone in any way, not even a booklet.
Nope.
No. Couldn't have dictated anything.
Even though he was considered the lead surgeon, implying there are other surgeons that surely can at least understand the concept of what fucking shit you can do.
Nope, this is the one guy who can develop a vaccine for a fungus, which doesn't exist, by the way, in the real world. Even with medical communities trying to figure that shit out. No, this one guy is supposed to vaccinate the most aggressive fungus in history. There is no fungal infection that has ever existed that is as aggressive as the cordyceps in this game.
And
he's supposed to.
Can all of that put together, right? You can conclude the Fireflies are incredibly incompetent, downright malicious, incredibly rushing everything, head first. Give no shits about a basic level of morality. I don't actually care if you think I'm gonna shoot Rags and he'll save the world. I have it as a guarantee. I'm still telling him. I don't need to just do it without his consent just because I know that it'll save the world. That shit's fucked up. And besides, we're in the post-apocalypse. This is not quite the same as saving the current world we're living in, which was all lives on this planet against one. This is all lives, this potentially is the key word, because we really have no guarantee. And people are fucking crazy all over the world right now. Don't even know how many are left or how to get it to them. Joel's choice should have been informed by a metric ton of reasoning, except in the second game, they tell us definitively all he was thinking about was, I don't want her to die, though. That's it.
I'd be okay with dying. Like if someone had to shoot me in the head in order to like stop Judgment Day, sure, I'd give my consent to that. Like I understand, you know. But something like this, I don't know. I don't know if I'd be okay with
not a sure thing.
killing me.
That's the
yeah,
problem.
it's not a sure thing.
Black and white, and Last of Us 2 absolutely treats it like it's black and white. It's like, no, he would have saved the world. It's like, we don't know that.
There's no guarantee that the world would have been saved or even substantially improved, and there's no guarantee that the world is going to like completely end if this doesn't happen. Like, this is several years later. You've got you've got settlements like where Joel and Ellie are living now that seem to be pretty prosperous and safe, and they're doing well. There's probably places like that all around the world. You know,
it's actually
high in the sky.
Actually, like introducing something like that into these different factions, that could actually make things worse, cause more conflict. Like that's a possibility as well.
Also, there's someone in chat saying, you don't think Marlene weighed those options? Well, evidently she didn't figure that it would be, okay to go ahead and get Ellie's consent. And
why would I trust Marlene anyway? What do I care if she weighed it up? She doesn't seem a good character to me.
The average experimental vaccine only has a 6% chance. Oh, sorry.
Oh, it's just Mauler just said like, "Oh, I don't trust Marlene," but like the game treats her like she is a good guy, like especially in this one.
Well, she's the one that decides everything to do with Joel. She's the one who welches on the deal. She's the one who's like, no, you can't even see her. Get the fuck out of here. And she will, in the same breath, be like, Invaders, I'm gonna go tell him because he's the only one who understands the gravity of the situation. It's like, what do you mean, Marlene?
I love that.
The fuck?
I'm gonna go tell him and then tell him to fuck off. Might as well not tell him anything.
If they were pragmatic liars, you should might even go like, yep, we're gonna house her here for a lot of tests. You can leave now. You know, not actually be like, we're going to kill her, because she should know the kind of implication they'll have. And then Joel can be like, what are you going to do with her? It's like, oh, tests, bye.
Yeah, can we
or just, like, really, if you were going to be, like, super pragmatic about it, just have Joel killed yourself. Because, like, he's going to suspect that something's up here, and he's just going to come back.
Only one dude to escort him out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the exact opposite of what it's like they have a guide to how to be a creepy evil organization 101 and they followed all of the steps perfectly.
Incompetent and maliciously fucking negligent evil. There's so many words that apply to everything about it. And if Joel had gotten all of this out to Ellie, oh my god, the game would have been improved dramatically because it can't fall into the narrative that they wanted it to.
Well, I'm okay with Joel believing. I'm okay with him, like, not necessarily having this rationale. Like,
he doesn't have to have all of it, but he certainly has to have some of this.
Yeah, and I'm just thinking, like, what about the trials, man? Like, you'd have to run trials on this vaccine to make sure that it works before you distribute it. That would take a shitload of time, and they run the risk of possibly running out of samples from the tissue extracted from Ellie's brain before they actually even come up with one. Like, there is a strong likelihood. There's too strong of a likelihood that Ellie would die for nothing. And at that point, like, what's the value of a human life? What's it worth?
That's what I think. I think Joel decided it's worth saving her, even with the potential of, it's just too risky to risk all of that. For humanity's not exactly in a great position. Is kind of where I was going with that.
Mm-hmm.
Really, really bad job trying to recontextualize all that to the point where it's a retcon of all that stuff. And
absolutely.
Nice
if that's what you have to resort to make a sequel, that's just shitty writing, and there's no excuse for it considering it's 7 years and you've had all this time to bounce around ideas. People would have gladly waited as long as it needed to be if you said you were going to make another one. There's just no excuse. There's no excuse other than a lack of talent.
This is basically like an Elseworld story at best. Like, this is set in a universe where The Last of Us played out a lot differently, not the game that we actually got.
And they make him have puppy dog face, like in all of his scenes where he's told he's wrong, as if he's like, oh, true.
Yeah.
It's like, what? No.
Yeah,
how about a bit of anger, like, of all the things that he had to go through and all the things he had to sacrifice and probably the killing that he had to do that he didn't want to for her. And it's like, yeah, it's all getting thrown back in his face and he's being treated like a piece of shit. Like, how about a little bit of, like, Yeah, you know what? I've had to do some pretty fucking horrible things for you.
Shit.
Yeah.
Tess was my friend too. I knew her longer than you did. You felt bad about that? Like,
It's like, just have some fucking balls and actually stand up for yourself. But again, he's not allowed to because this game wants payoffs that it doesn't earn.
All those precious memories that they made together after he saved her, the museum, the teaching her how to swim, teaching her how to play guitar, watching Jurassic Park with her, like, fuck, man. Those are experiences that she will all miss if she dies.
Yeah, of all the things that he needs to be invested in, this is the one thing, and he just doesn't.
Someone tried saying to me, "Oh, well, parents will sometimes shoot themselves in the foot intentionally and hide information from their kids to protect them from the truth or something." It's like, no, for Joel, this is like the one thing that's giving him purpose.
No, the truth would only benefit the both of them.
Yeah.
There's no reason for him to hide anything. It only does good if he tells her all this stuff. Their relationship is better. She feels better. Like, no, actually, your potential death wasn't wasted. We should totally be cool now. It's weird we've waited this long, but like, once you know the facts of what happened, your entire tune will change.
I think that she should really only be mad at him for lying to her for as long as he did. Like, that's a more just thing to feel angry about. But the fact that the final cutscene is her yelling, "I was supposed to die in that hospital. My life would have fucking mattered." Like, no,
your life probably wasn't going to matter. Like, sorry.
Yeah. And it seems almost narcissistic as well to take that approach to it.
Yeah.
Like, it's about me. Like, I should have been important, and you took that importance away from me. It's like you're completely not understanding the factors at play here, and you're making it about you.
Not to mention, again, they were making plans with each other, and Ellie just expected Joel to read her mind and know that she would have been totally willing to die and just like, fuck the plans that we've made together.
Yeah, I never say goodbye to you. All that stuff, she just didn't care about. Like, we never.
She would have wanted what they wanted.
Yeah, it's insane.
What a shame.
What a game!
And the whole "my life would have mattered." He didn't do a speech that he should have done. Like, your life does matter to all the people here, to me. You know.
Yeah.
All that. I mean, if I were writing it, it'd be like she would maybe want to say something like that. You know, she wanted a meaningful death, and Joel says to her, "And I wanted you to have a meaningful life." And then boom!
Oh my god!
There you go. Done.
Bang.
Yep. That's the moment where the character like is just speechless because like, holy shit.
What a hero. I had people in my chat saying that his death was unfair because they brutally murdered, and I quote, "a beloved character."
Yeah!
He is.
He's beloved as fuck!
You can prove this metrically. Like, it's pretty fucking easy. Joel skyrocketed as iconic characters from video games on Sony's like catalog.
Yeah, like the backlash to this game basically proves how beloved he was to everybody.
The fact that people are so mad should indicate that people liked him a lot.
How about we look at just the Wikipedia article for Joel? Give me one sec. Joel, Last of Us, and then we'll look at reception. Okay, we'll just
just go to top 5 Sony characters.
Mm-hmm.
Go to top 5 PS4 characters or something like that. Top 5 PS4 characters.
Okay, we've got Joel's character received generally positive feedback. Colin Moriarty found that he cared about the character and considered him likable. Andy Kelly of Computer and Video Games wrote that Joel has a likable warmth in his laconic Texan drawl. Jim Sterling of Destructoid found Joel likable despite his impatience and harsh tone. Eurogamer's Ollie Welsh felt that by the game's end, Joel and Ellie had matured from cliches into rounded characters.
I got this list. It's got Joel and Ellie. Go to another one.
I found one. Best PlayStation 3 characters. Number 1, Nathan Drake. Number 2, Joel.
Yeah.
I like how number 3 is Kratos, number 4 is John Marston, number 5 is Ellie. Joel is beloved. Fuck you.
People love Joel.
It's so ridiculous. It's like, how could anyone possibly think it? It's like, this is actually a quote from my chat. It's like, yeah, he literally is a beloved character.
Why would people really like The Last of Us 1 if they didn't like Joel? He's
he's kind of integral to it.
He's a playable character. What the? Okay.
Wouldn't it really suck to play a game with a character, with a protagonist who's unlikable? Gosh.
But you see how it's then so easy to frame this and to set up like this straw man argument. It's like, well, he was never really that beloved anyway, and it's like you shouldn't feel bad about him dying because he wasn't that popular and he wasn't a good person.
Sour grapes, man.
Actually, you're right. So the argument here, if we ignore what he just said, the argument is a beloved character shouldn't get a death like this. I suppose I would just argue it shouldn't be treated this way. But then, no character should be treated this way, as nonsensically as this. Like,
yeah.
I'm okay with him dying brutally. I am not okay with the circumstances leading up to him dying brutally being bullshit. And I'm very not okay with being told that we should sympathize with a person who sadistically tortures him to death in front of his surrogate daughter and think, oh, she's such a good person when her motivation is bullshit.
If I was in charge of making this game, I would have been like, oh, we got to make a sequel. Oh, well, Joe's going to die a hero's death. That's what's going to happen. This is what we're doing. It makes sense. It'll be super satisfying to everybody. People will love it. He'll go down in history as a great character, or he's going to have so much respect. It's just all wins. We're just passing out W's at this point. It's just the obvious thing to do that makes so much sense on every level. And they're like, no, let's do the opposite. Fuck it.
I mean, the fact that, so a character being beloved doesn't necessarily mean that they're well written. It's just, they're positively received in general, right? This is a consensus argument. Yeah. This is a beloved depends on, basically you have to understand, okay, the 90% of people receive the character positively. Yes. Okay.
Well, legitimately Fat Geralt is that. He doesn't have to be written well. But he's beloved anyway.
Just like the Dawn.
Crazy.
I mean, how could you not love a character whose on-screen debut is him barreling into the frame with a fully wound-up punch against someone a quarter of his size, straight into a garage door, causing them to twirl comic.
Dude, it's not even. I'm going to make a case in my video for Fat Geralt to a certain degree, but he immediately is like, "Hey, how you doing, buddy?" Like you got an arrow through you, and the guy's like, "Ah, oh, fuck it is." He's like, "You'll be okay. Come on." And then he snaps it, pulls it out, and he's like, "Right, get that sword, and then get the girl out of here." It's just like, hey, this guy's doing stuff. Like he knows what's up. He knows what's to do. You just get a sense immediately, like, he seems competent.
You can have.
He doesn't mess around. He knows how to take someone down. He demonstrates a certain degree of concern for his comrades. You've established him pretty there. He's an effective leader.
Someone's going to be like, it's a slaver. And he'd be like, well.
Well, I mean, here's a good example. Last night I was watching some clips of, do you guys remember Hank Scorpio from The Simpsons?
Yeah.
One of the greatest one-off characters. And everybody in the comments is like, I'd like to work for him. It's like, he's a supervillain. It's like, but he's nice to his employees, He's cool. He wants to go bowling with Homer.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. It only takes a few minutes to establish somebody as really cool. Attention! Yeah. Good evening, gentlemen. I have the doomsday device.
It's like when Homer asks for sugar from him, and he's just got it in his pockets, like loose sugar.
Mr. Bond, stop him! He's supposed to die.
Do you remember when
Homer just rugby tackles him to the ground?
Yeah.
When Homer, he says good because I don't have any cream, in relation to sugar in his pockets, as if it's
awesome. It's because he's got sugar loose for Homer, and then he's like, "You want some cream?" And Homer just looks at him for a second, no.
I really like the part at the end where he's like, Homer, if you could kill someone on your way out, it would really help me a lot. Jumps out with a flamethrower. It's so good.
And yet,
welcome to the episode of EFAP where we cover Cosmonaut Variety Hour. We'll be discussing the episode of The Simpsons with a one-off character written better than the protagonist of the game.
Joel is not a fucking beloved character.
He is, though.
That's insane to say that. Like, this is where you want to ask a few people before you say stuff like this.
Yeah, listen, I'm okay
You're
with the idea of I don't particularly like this character, but yes, they're beloved. Like, if you want to take that position, that's totally fine. But to state outwardly is like, people don't love this character. What do you mean? It's like, what are you talking about?
You're losing us, Cosmonaut. You see, you made some valid points with the gameplay mechanic stuff, but now you're just going off the rails.
I mean, let's put it this way. I've played half of the first game, watched the rest. I have not played the second game and watched all of it. I love Joel so much. All right,
This game has made me realize that I like Joel a lot.
Joel's fucking awesome.
I think there's a lot of people in your position.
Yeah, who were just like, oh, he was really cool.
Yeah,
Like,
man,
just
Joel
sort of
was
coming to
great.
realize that. Yeah.
This is where like Cosmonaut is outright like denying objective facts. If you say a character is not beloved because you don't like them personally, it's like you're ignoring the fact that, well, the majority of people do, and the definition of beloved is, definition of beloved.
Yeah,
He is about as beloved as he could, yeah.
It's a matter of like
I don't
popularity.
even. It's not even down to necessarily whether Cosmonaut likes Joel. It's just he's setting it up like this to support his argument that he's constructed for this game.
Yeah, it's
You
like
know,
people
it's
don't like Jesus.
It's about what people like. It's not what he likes or even their character necessarily. It's just if people as a whole like the character. That's what makes a beloved character.
Pretty much.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna like
A much loved. That's literally that's Joel. He is a much loved person.
Is that loved to a significant degree or loved by a lot of people?
a much loved.
A much loved person.
I feel like much love seems like it could be interchangeable between the two of them, seemingly.
Yeah.
Because he's both, by the way.
Yeah.
You'd have to make a strong case to suggest that most people don't love Joel.
Oh, he is many loved by much people, definitely.
The thing that I think a lot of people found so appealing is that he's like a fucking rock, and he's chipped away by this innocent girl who just looking to have fun in a horrible world, and then you eventually lose. You'll sacrifice anything to help her.
Yeah,
that's some adorable shit right there. Like really gets to people's hearts quickly.
And they make Ellie like an actually endearing person too, so that you're feeling that alongside him. Like she's kind of annoying at first, and then she's breaking him down, but at the same time she's breaking you down too.
Yeah, she's incredibly hard to dislike. No, sorry, whatever. The point is that it takes a while for her to get to Joel. It's not quick.
Especially when she's like giving you ammunition and she's saving your life during combat encounters. You're dealing with a guy that's attacking you, and he's grabbing onto you from behind. She jumps on his back and starts, shanking the shit out of him. She throws bricks and bottles at people when you're out of ammo and almost about to die, so you can get the advantage on them. It's like,
Also, as Silver Groove Grove just highlighted, people are mad that Joel died. That's it. Also, Joel isn't even beloved. Wait a minute.
Yeah, which one is it? I'm so upset that this character I hate died. This character I didn't
Winnie
care
the
about.
Pooh is a beloved character. Joel is a
fuck Winnie the Pooh. I hate Winnie the Pooh so goddamn much.
I don't give a shit about Winnie the Pooh.
Oddly specific.
Winnie the Pooh?
Who feels deep love for Winnie the Pooh?
I'm sorry, especially considering what Winnie the Pooh is doing in China right now. Like he's like, you look at how China is reacting to Winnie the Pooh and what all of his horrible actions as the dictator in that country. I don't.
Who's your everyone? I guess while we're on the set, who's everyone's favorite character from the 100 Acre Wood? I mean, does anyone have a favorite?
I like Tigger more than Winnie the Pooh.
I love Tigger and Rabbit way more than Winnie the Pooh.
Piglet. I like Piglet more than Winnie. Yeah, Winnie the Pooh is like the
Winnie's pretty
the Pooh
generic.
is like the Mario series, like Anna's favorite is not Mario, it's Luigi, it's Yoshi, it's Bowser, it's Waluigi, it's someone else, it's not Mario.
Are like do the movies count, like the videos count, because Gopher is pretty fucking great.
Yeah, I remember Gopher.
Gopher's
good.
It's awesome.
He may not be in the book, but
I'm probably gonna go with I like Rabbit. He's sort of straight man, trying to keep it all together, trying to keep things. I bet he puts up with a lot of stuff. I bet there's a lot of love in that Rabbit to put up with all these people. He's just trying to get by, sticks around. Then probably Kanga.
Rabbit is like the Squidward of Winnie the Pooh, in that he becomes a lot more relatable the older you grow. You know.
Oh yeah. He's like, man, this dude is trying to keep it together. He's trying to grow carrots. And he just wants a nice house, and he has very attainable, simple goals.
By the way,
and yeah,
like because he's putting Joel against Winnie the fucking Pooh. Like I don't even know what to. So the idea, like, because it's funny because I'm willing to take it on. I'd be like, yeah. So why do you think people have a deeper love for Joel? It's like because he's far more endearing as a human being. He's incredibly flawed, and he shares a lot of the same values that people do. Winnie the Pooh, I mean.
He likes honey.
He likes his honey, and he's a friendly dude. You're like, all right, good for you, man.
But like Joel's a way more like deep character. I think that I love Walter White more than I love Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, same.
Like
Walter White is a beloved character.
Absolutely.
He was saying something about violence here. This is the thing. He's saying he's not a beloved character because he's violent.
Well,
that doesn't have it.
We'll have to let him say his thing first, I guess.
Quote, a beloved character. Joel is not a fucking beloved character.
he's saying, "I worry. Just let me see her, please." In that clip.
Yeah, I know. It's,
Okay, not what I would have chosen to make this point, but okay.
The Pooh is a beloved character. Joel is a violent anti-hero. There are scenes.
what does that have to do with whether he's beloved?
Yeah, why is he doing that? Why is he killing this guy?
I guess Deadpool is not a beloved character then.
Yeah, what the fuck? We can name. This is so.
Punisher.
What?
Man.
This is all contextual as well. This is a world where people have to be violent in order to stay alive. This isn't a place where Winnie the Pooh would thrive.
What about Rorschach? People fucking adore Rorschach.
Like Joel is not virtuous, but that doesn't have anything to do with him being.
People
What about
Batwoman? The Joker, like the Joker, is psychopathic, chaos-ridden fucking monster. He's beloved. That's not how emotions work.
In this clip of him fucking this guy up, and like, why is he doing that?
Why is
Han Solo is an anti-hero in the
characters.
I think he thinks to be beloved is to be appreciated for your altruism or something, like pure altruism. Like there's nothing negative about you. Because Winnie the Pooh has Winnie the Pooh ever sinned in any way, shape, or form?
Winnie the Pooh is like
Winnie the Pooh is without sin. He is the perfect being.
Well, let's look at this then. Like, if you're going to take it on like having a flawless personality and being altruistic, like, is Rey a beloved character? Not really. But she exemplifies all the virtues that Cosmonaut's apparently looking for.
Luke got really mad when he was fighting Vader. I guess he's no longer beloved. He failed once, so he's no good anymore.
Not every beloved character is Captain America. Like you can be flawed and still be a beloved character. It's just a matter of like if people relate.
Another one, Iron Man.
Winnie the Glutton. Oh God.
Winnie the Dawn.
Winnie suffered gluttonous tendencies that he had to overcome.
I mean, we did the EFAP not too long ago about Lord of the Rings and favorite characters. Boromir pops up all the time.
Incredibly flawed.
Beloved.
Yeah. This is what I mean. Like, this is such a weird focus in this video. Like, what is all this in aid of? Stop being so sad that he's dead. Like, what?
What is somebody meant to do about that?
I don't know.
Sad. Like.
In the first game where he murders people just because he wants to.
No! This scene right here is not the scene that you use to say that he just kills people because he wants to. Yeah. He is trying to save Ellie's life. You fucking prick!
Stop yelling, it's weird.
Oh my god!
Like just to kill somebody. When does he kill someone just for the sake of killing someone in the first Last of Us? I don't think he does that once.
Listen,
there's a reason for it.
The evil aspect of his character that we're told about is the fact that he would attack and steal from innocent people. That's not even a want to kill. So even like at the worst aspect we know of his character, to want, like, what do you mean wants to kill?
No, Joel is just sadistic. He just has this bloodlust. He just kills people because he wants to. He's the serial killer. He doesn't kill for self-defense. He doesn't kill to survive. He just has this urge, this primal urge to just kill. He has
Is
to
this meant to be
kill.
like the clip that supports it though? Like this clip where he's interrogating this guy so that he can save Ellie? Yeah, he kills because he
he's
likes it.
Terrible
He
example.
He
interrogates
is told that Ellie is being prepped for surgery. There is a ticking clock. Time is of the essence. He literally says, "I have no time for this," and then shoots the dude in the groin. Like, fuck.
Yeah.
He didn't even kill Marlene.
Like,
Like he had a reason for that as well.
There are
You'll just come after her. So he always kills some. He always kills with
it's
a
always
reason.
very pragmatic. He's very pragmatic. Like, yeah.
scenes in the first game where he murders people just because he wants to. I think a lot of people wrongfully believe that this is a story about how you have to protect your loved ones no matter the cost.
I'm curious what you think the story is about.
Yeah.
He has taken some strange things from this game.
Yeah.
Hopefully he'll tell me what he thinks the first game was about.
I'm really interested in seeing his interpretation. It's going to be like one that doesn't line up with mine at all, but I am curious to see what he has to say about it.
Joel saves Ellie because he desperately does not want to lose another daughter. There is no point.
He doesn't want to lose the First Order either, and both of those are classed as loved ones. So what goes against that doesn't counter what he just said.
He wants to protect his loved ones.
He doesn't want Tess to die either. Like, what are you?
Yeah, why? How's that like selfish?
I don't understand.
Like, you're protecting people that you love. Like, surely that's.
He says it like it's
one
a
of the
flaw
highest
that he doesn't
virtues you
want
can go
his
for.
surrogate daughter to die. You're like, okay.
Hello, you just listened to a segment of the podcast Every Frame a Pause, or EFAP. Hosted by YouTubers Mauler, Rags, and Fringy, and joined by a cycling variety of guests across the internet, they critically analyze media with exhaustive detail while pausing at every single frame. Subscribe to the EFAP channel and catch new episodes on Saturdays, as well as catch their smaller videos reacting to the latest and not-so-greatest movies and TV shows throughout the week. You can also subscribe here to EFAP Highlights for the latest shorts, clips, and supercuts, also uploaded throughout the week. Links to all the relevant channels can be found in the description section below, as well as links to their communities on Reddit and Discord. Thanks for watching.